very warm welcome to Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. He's the Managing Director of the Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, which also owns the brand Amul India. He is the man behind Amul's stellar success, and he's also the man at the helm who's currently steering the organization through these very trying and severe times. I'm talking about none other than RS Sodhi, who's also one of my favorite interviewees. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now and Brand Equity, Mr. Sodhi.
Thank you, Sonali. Talking to you after a long time.
Yes, it has. How difficult have these times been for you? It's been almost a month since we've all been locked down, and for you, who's the man at the helm, who's ensuring all of us here get milk, butter, cheese, paneer, and so many other essential products. How has life been for you?
Well, Sonali, when our consumers like you are under lockdown, we cannot be under lock. So for last 1 month and 5-6 days, for Doodhwala, there's nothing lockout. Our cows and buffalo are not under lockdown. They continue to give milk, and our consumer continue to drink milk and milk products. So we have to ensure that both are connected.
Absolutely. But, I want to just take you through the entire process and step by step, if you can just enlighten me and my viewers about how, Amul has been conducting its business. So I want to really start with procurement. How have you been ensuring, procurement from farmers for different, for all the dairy products that you supply? How difficult has it been for you to actually maneuver and get that procurement going?
Well, Sonali, there has not been much problem as far as procurement of milk is concerned because twice in a day we procure milk from 3.6 million farmers from 18,500 village cooperative society, and we're using 5,000 road milk tankers. Although lockdown was there, but milk tankers are visible from a distance, and milk is an essential product. So practically there was not much of problem or stoppage of tankers at the home on the road. So we continue with it, and uh, and these milk tankers were coming to the around 18,000 dairy plants and 400 chilling stations where this milk was processed and packed into the various products like milk and other value-added products. And then same milk and products are again transported all over India in 10,000 tankers and trucks. So this whole supply chain, which is sea to sea, we have got around 50,000 trucks on the road anytime, and around 1 lakh supply chain members working 24 hours to ensure that this supply chain continues, this pipe continues to flow.
Right. But, for instance, let's talk about how you're managing this during a time where you also have to maintain social distancing, also have to maintain the necessary precautions so that, we don't see, a tragedy of sorts. How difficult has that been for you in terms of ensuring social distancing and precautionary measures with farmers?
Yeah, you're right, Sonali. We started implementing all these precautionary measures on 17th of March. We communicated to all our villages what type of precautions to be taken, like right from social distancing at the time of when farmer is coming to pour milk. So instead of making a queue to pour the milk together, they have to stand at 3 meters far. Then, as they have to enter the collection center, they have to wash their hands, use the mask. Similarly, all these milk tankers which are coming to collect the milk from the villages, they are sanitized before they leave the dairy plant, and after the loading of the milk, when these tankers come back, again they are sanitized. Similarly, in our dairy plants also, when all the workers are coming, first after doing their thermal screening, they have to pass through sanitizing tunnels, and then they have to wash their hands, and other things are there. And similarly, the whole supply chain, social distancing, sanitization, and washing and hand mask has been maintained throughout the supply chain. and little education was needed. So we had to educate all the supply chain members, and it is working well. Absolutely, till now there has been no problem. And the other thing which I think in this whole supply chain business is very helpful this time. I am saying this time. In 90s also there used to be curfew and lockdown type thing when Gujarat had the riots. But this time technology has very helpful. I mean, each village cooperative society is connected automated collection system. So we know how many farmers have come, poured milk, how much milk is there. Similarly, each tanker and each truck had got GPS. So if my tankers were stopped at Gujarat border or Punjab border, we immediately came to know which check Naka tankers have been stopped, which collector to be talked. And let me tell you, absolutely, the administration helped a lot. In fact, on 25th of March, when lockdown was announced, instead of our approaching the authorities, we got calls from all authorities like Ministry of Home Affairs, the Chief Minister's Office, Chief Secretary's Office, and a lot of other Secretary Animal Husbandry, etc., asking us what help we want, what help we require, so that milk supply chain is not disrupted, neither procurement, nor marketing, nor availability of the milk and milk products.
Uh, right. Mr. Sodhi, in terms of actually, the transportation to ensure, distribution amongst, all your franchisees and of course kirana walas and other retailers, how difficult has it been in terms of, truckers? Because even with truckers there have been rules imposed, so even your trucks that are traveling to different states have been imposed with new rules, such as instead of two drivers or two passengers in a truck, restricted to just one driver per trucker. How tough has that been for you?
Well, you see, first there has been problem because milk tankers can be recognized, but if the truck is loaded with Tetra Pak milk or the milk powder, no constable or the police fellow standing on the road come to that. It has got essential. So what we did is on the all the windscreen of truck we fixed up milk products essential service, and then taking all the permissions from the local states and authorities, we did it. And this problem of one driver with one cleaner and no dhabas opening, no service opening. So what we did is all the dairy plants at the time loading and unloading, we arranged food for everybody. I mean the drivers, all the cleaners, all the labor and everything. Besides that, we also gave announced incentives for all the transporters. And then when the goods are going to the market, then the real challenge came there. You see, milk is exempted, milk is essential, but when the driver of our distributor sales van is coming, how he'll reach to the distributor's point, how distributor reach to its point or to the warehouse to distribute the product, and then window available for unloading of goods and distribution was 2 to 6 hours, depending upon city to city. So what we did basically to take care of this, we have got three types of distribution chain for fresh product like milk, then for dairy products like butter, ghee, cheese, and third is for ice cream. So we found that our ice cream supply chain was idle initially and now also a little bit. So we told all our ice cream distributors also that you also start handling milk and milk products, so that this limited window of 2 to 6 hours we can service maximum retailers. And I'm not saying there was absolutely no problem, but it was basically communication. I mean, on 25th, we communicated all the supply chain partners, whether transporters, distributors, C&F fellow, or our employees, that look here, milk and milk product distribution or making it available is not your job. It is your national duty. So I'm very happy to tell you, once we communicate the purpose to all the supply chain partners, everybody gave his best. And then we had to tell anybody why you are not come or you have to do this. Everybody was doing his or her job more than the expectations. And I'm very happy that in spite of lockdown difficulties, we could maintain our supply chain and we could also maintain our sales volume of milk and milk products across India. Not with much difficulty. No doubt, support of local administration was immense. Everybody came forward to help us.
Right. That's really heartening to hear, Mr. Sodhi. And I'm so glad that during these trying times, there has been so much cooperation. If you can just throw some light in terms of the spikes and drops we've seen in terms of consumer demand. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the dairy industry suffered a 20 to 30% demand drop ever since we've seen this lockdown. And I believe that initially, when the lockdown was announced, we saw a surge of about 15 to 20%, and then that demand has then dropped to 20 to 30% compared to normal times. Is that accurate? And how do you see this entire surge and drop in demand normalizing going forward?
Sonali, you may be right in some products, but let me tell you, there have been lots of ups and downs in demand of dairy products. When lockdown was announced, there was a panic buying of milk and milk products. So there was an immediate surge in demand of 15 to 20% of milk, as well as some of the main products of dairy like ghee, butter, Tetra Pak milk, or paneer or cheese. But on fourth or fifth day, liquid milk demand reduced by 30%. Reason have been simple. Panic buying stopped. Horeca segment, hotel, restaurants, and the chai shops stopped working. And third was there was a reverse migration happened from the major metros to the rural side. But later on, demand started picking up. If you talk today of fresh liquid milk demand, we are minus by only 4%. Reason is very simple. Horeca demand has gone down by 50%, but household consumption has gone by 8 to 10%. People sitting at home since morning to the night, eating, drinking more milk. Now, coming to the milk products, very interesting. Which nobody expected. I mean, I was talking to my other colleagues of dairy industry all over world in the Europe, USA, Japan, Korea, and everywhere observation happening is same. The dairy product demand has increased by 20 to 50%. Let me tell you, Tetra Pak milk increased by 50%. Paneer sales doubled. Cheese 40% more. Butter, ghee, milk powder 20% more. Last 35 days we are selling more. Reason is simple. Earlier we used to have working breakfast, working lunch, or little bit better dinner. Now when whole family is at home, we are having very detailed recipes for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and any Indian recipe or any European recipe, dairy is a very important ingredient. So all over India or all over world, branded packed dairy product demand is increasing, and we are lucky that we are in that category of food.
Is that why, Mr. Sodhi, you say that, compared to all other FMCG companies, in fact, who are, experiencing some kind of depression in demand and have withdrawn their guidance for the next year, you seem confident about your growth rate. I believe you've made a prediction about 15%, in terms of the growth you expect from all the Amul brands.
Yeah, you're right. Because of like April month has closed, and we have registered around 15 to 20% increase in turnover in our branded consumer product. No doubt, little drop is there in our sale because commodities are being used by other dairies for making milk, and because of this lockdown and working capital growth, that is slow. But overall, we shall grow by 15 to 17%. Absolutely, there is no problem in that. And one more reason is there, Sonali, for the growth, because we are getting 10% more milk, because small players, mithai shop, small ice cream manufacturers, they have stopped collection of milk from the villages or rural India. That much 15% more milk is coming to the cooperatives like us. It is not only with Amul. Verka in Punjab, Saras in Rajasthan, Nandini in Karnataka. Everybody is getting 15 to 30% more milk. So when we are getting more milk, we have to sell it also. So that's why I'm very optimistic that we'll be able to generate minimum 15 to 17% growth.
You have also been one of the few companies who, despite it being a lockdown and a situation which us as mankind has never seen before, you've managed to introduce a new product, which is the Amul Haldi Doodh. I'm very curious as to how you managed to launch a new product during these tough and trying times. And I believe going forward, you're also looking to launch Tulsi Doodh and Adrak Doodh or ginger milk. Explain to me how you managed to, have a product launch during times where most businesses are actually drowning.
Well, Sonali ji, during this COVID period, everybody is talking about having food with better immunity or immunity booster. We have been working on such products like Haldi Duratan for some time. Only thing is we expedited it. This gave us the opportunity. We encashed it. Not only our product, within the announcement of lockdown, within 4 days, we launched a TV campaign how milk and milk products are immunity booster. Not only milk, cheese, butter, because everybody is having more of a fat, protein, and vitamin A, D, etc. So that was there, and our supply chain was in place, so we could launch it. And shortly we are introducing, like you said, tulsi and adrak milk too.
Mr. Sodhi, I've always been, a great admirer of how you've done things. And the other thing I want to touch upon is the fact that how you have the vision, and the agility to actually launch your retro ads, during the launch of Mahabharat and Ramayan on DD. Very few brands actually have that acumen to go ahead and do that because viewership has really gone up, especially for Doordarshan. These mythological programs that they've launched, as well as news channels. And you've been one of the few brands that has taken an opportunity and re-released some of your retro ads to engage with your consumers. How has that worked out? Tell me, your how you managed that marketing thought and implementation during again these very trying times.
Well, Sonali ji, actually, we started working on this in the first week of March when we saw that already COVID is prevalent in China, Italy, etc. Everybody is sitting before the TV and watching the news. You see, one thing is we have to understand your consumers, and in our case, millions and millions, they are with you for their lifetime, not only their lifetime, for generation. So they are your family members in your business. And one has to keep communicating with the family members like consumer. So I don't think one should stop communication when your member is in distress or he's in difficulty. So one thing we decided that we will not stop advertising. Rather, we should double it up because we are going to get uncluttered and totally focused family viewing. There is no disruption also. So we decided we have to increase our ad spend on news and some other program. And this proposal for Ramayana and Mahabharat came. And then we realized these series were very much famous. And so we took the sponsorship. And when the first episode was telecasted, we got a lot of feedback. Ramayana on 16th of April. So I think whatever we decided, it has really given us very good exposure.
Mr. Sodhi, in terms of brand salience, brand memory, and brand topicality, I would say Amul has always been far ahead and cuts above the rest. Having said that, I want to talk a little bit about the Punjab Dairy acquisition, which Amul was all set to make. I believe you also had an approval from the board, but now we're in the lockdown. How are you conducting that process, that acquisition process of Punjab Dairy for, I believe, 21.2 crores? How are you carrying on with that?
No, that is a very small acquisition. We are already present in Punjab. We already got two plants. So our milk procurement, processing, and distribution is NC. So we have going. That is a normal commercial process that is going on. I think as the lockdown is lifted, we'll go ahead with that. But our business is going as usual in Punjab or any other parts of India.
Mrs. Sodhi, given the lockdown and given that several brands have had, several of your competitors have had problems in terms of procurement, distribution. There's been a problem with the supply chain. You have somehow managed quite successfully. We don't see a problem really in Amul's stocking, whether it be with Kiranas or it be with the Amul franchise owners. Would you say that, when you come out of the lockdown, Amul would have emerged a much strong, it's always been a strong player, but even more stronger across the country? And would you say that you would have managed to significantly improve your market share?
Yeah, definitely because of our presence. In our whole supply chain, milk procurement, distribution, and the placement at the retailer shelf, and also on visibility. Amul was visible. Amul was present. We continue to buy milk from the farmer, so that trust is built. We continue to provide business to all our supply chain partner, transporters, C&F distributor. So they are going to be loyal to us. And we continue to provide products to our retailers also. Modern trade is there, e-commerce, and they are extremely happy that during this period, when demand from their consumer is coming, Amul continue to provide them daily supply. And no doubt, millions of our consumers happy that during this time, when everybody is seeking a very tasty and nutritious food at affordable price, Amul was available at all the shops and in a good quantity. I think after the lockdown, our relationship, our trust is going to further strengthen with our consumers and our supply chain partners. And I think any food or any business, that is very, very important. I think this COVID or this lockdown has given us opportunity to build our relationship more and more hard.
Sure, completely in agreement, Mr. Sodhi, and kudos to you to have conducted, your business and also, your brand enhancement exercise with such vision. Having said that, before I leave you, I'd like to ask you to give me three predictions of yours in terms of what we will witness once the lockdown ends, once slowly life returns to normalcy. What are your three big predictions and big changes we'll see in the marketplace and in India?
I think one thing is that people will understand the importance of relationship, communication, and the speed, because people who have really played this game of a relationship, communication, and speed, they are going to become winners. Second is, I think we'll be, traveling less and having more meetings on Zoom or Skype or the online. I mean, this is new learning. I think, having meeting instead of going to Delhi for a 1 hour meeting is better to have meeting from your office. I think third, is all marketing company like us will like to keep some media budget for exigencies like this. And overall, I think this COVID, this lockdown has also told us that how to motivate, inspire your whole team so that you can work for one purpose. And one purpose is communicating right spirit to your team. I think you can achieve anything.
Well, on that note, Mr. Sodhi, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for your candid speak. Thank you for the insights. And as usual, a pleasure having you on ET Now and Brand Equity. And hope to speak with you very soon in person once the lockdown is lifted and we come back to normalcy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonali. Nice talking to you. Thank you.